The Fourth Way by P.D. Ouspensky. Chapter 10. And this is a continuation of Chapter 10. The questions are always put forth by Ouspensky. The answers are given by Gurdjieff. Question. Is self-imposed discipline good, or must it be school discipline? Answer. Discipline is good if it is discipline, but if it is just an arbitrary invention, then it can give no result. The most important aspect of discipline is not expressing negative emotions and not indulging in negative emotions. Mechanical tasks cannot give any result, but if you catch yourself at a moment of negative emotion and stop it, this is discipline. If we want to be in the work, we must verify all our thoughts, words, and actions from the point of view of the work. So, if you want to work, you are no longer free. You must lose the illusion of freedom. The question is, have you freedom? Have you something to lose? This is why self-remembering is necessary. Self-remembering is not only self-awareness, it means also a certain capacity to act in a certain way, to do what you want. You see, in our logical thinking, logical knowledge, we divide consciousness from will. Consciousness means will. In Russian, for instance, the same word is used for will and for freedom. Consciousness means will, and will means freedom. Question. Is attention synonymous with will? Answer. No, otherwise it would not have been necessary to use two words. But controlling attention is the beginning of will. Question. You spoke about bringing things under control. What is it in us which controls? Answer. That depends on what you want. In every line of action, aim is the controlling factor. In work on yourself or study, you have a certain aim. This aim will control your actions. But you did not mean that. You asked if there is in us. No. You asked, what is there in us that can control? To answer this, I must return again to groups of eyes. In this case, the magnetic center. At present, in relation to our personal work, our aim is to be under the control of magnetic center and not stray eyes. Many of us, interested in one thing and another. Oh no, let me read that sentence again. At present, in relation to our personal work, our aim is to be under the control of magnetic center and not of stray eyes. One of them interested in one thing and another in another thing. If every one of them wants to control us, it means that in the end, nobody controls. But if we are controlled by magnetic center, it already means a certain control. The determination and the definition of aim is very important in this work. It usually happens that one defines one's aim quite rightly, in quite the right direction. Only one takes an aim that is very far off. Then, with this aim in view, one begins to learn and to accumulate material. The next time one tries to define aim, one defines it as a little differently, finding an aim that is a little nearer, and the next time again a little nearer, and so on until one finds an aim that is quite close tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Until one finds an aim that is quite close tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. This is really the right way in relation to aims. If we speak about them without more precision, we can find many aims that have been definitely mentioned already. To be one, quite right, is a very good aim. To be free. How? Only when one acquires control of the machine. One person may say, I want to be conscious. Another may say, I want to be awake. Or, I want to have will. These are all aims on the same line, only at different distances. Question. I have come to the conclusion that most of the aims are too remote, and I want to work more on the practical side. Answer. Yes, because before you can reach remote aims, there are many things you can do here and now, and that is why this system differs from almost all other systems. Nearly all the other systems begin with aims at least 10,000 miles ahead, which have no practical meaning, but this system begins in this room. That is the difference, and that is what must be understood first of all. Again and again we must return to this question of what we want from the work. Do not use the terminology of the system, but find what you yourself want. If you say you want to be conscious, that is all very good, but why? What do you want to get by being conscious? You must not think that you can answer this question immediately. It is very difficult, but you must keep coming back to it. And you must understand that before the time comes when you will be able to get what you want, you must know what that is. This is a very definite condition. You can never get anything until you can say, I want this. Then perhaps you may get it, or perhaps you may not. But you can never get it unless you know what it is. You can formulate it in your own way, and you must be sincere with yourself. Then you can ask yourself, will the system be able to help me get it? If we remember our aim, think about it, find more and more reasons why we should work, our will move in one direction and will get stronger. If we forget our aim, we get slack. I have spoken about the question of aim because I advise you to think about it, to revise what you have already thought about aim, and think how you would define your aim now, after a study of these ideas. I would say what a man can get, what can be promised him on condition that he works, is after some time of work, he will see himself. Other things that he may get, such as consciousness, unity, connection with higher centers, all come after this. And we do not know in what order they come. But we must remember one thing. Until we get this, until we see ourselves, we cannot get anything else. Until we begin to work with this aim in view, we cannot say that we have begun to work. So after some time, we must be able to formulate our immediate aim as being able to see oneself, not even to know oneself. This comes later, but to see oneself. Man is afraid to see oneself. Man is afraid to see himself. But he can decide to take courage and see what he is.